Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your tarot card reading for April 2024. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jane. Welcome to April 2024, which is a very big month astrologically. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at both the tarot predictions and mix it with a lot of astrology here for you. So as you're choosing which sign to watch, you may want to start off with your sun sign or your rising sign. And if you would like to have that third perspective, your moon sign is also quite beneficial as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the reading, and I'll see you guys in just a sec. Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your April 2024 tarot card reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with a card from my animal spirit deck. So for Sagittarius, what is it that you need to know here? Okay, tend to the small things. You know, this might be unavoidable, especially as we make our way through the first week and a half of April. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my voice right now. But the reason why I say that is two reasons, actually three reasons. First, we have Mars coming into this conjunction with Saturn right now in the fourth house. So there might be a lot of domestic issues that need your attention, things around the home and whatnot. We also have this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction happening in Taurus in the sixth house, which is all about, your daily habits and your routines. There's a lot of, answering emails, catching up on administrative work, that kind of stuff that happens in the sixth house. And then we also have a Mercury retrograde going on. So I think all these three things together really are going to kind of force you to focus on the small things. But remember, the small things, even though maybe they're a little bit boring or mundane, they are the foundation and kind of the building blocks upon which the bigger things are built. So as annoying as it is, as annoying as it might be, I actually think you may enjoy doing these smaller things a little bit as the weeks go on. I think you'll feel productive, and I think the more you feel productive, the more excited and more motivated you get with all the other things that are going to be going on. Okay, because it is a big month, not just the Uranus-Jupiter thing, which is huge in and of itself, but we also have the big eclipse in Aries happening in your fifth house, and that's happening on April 8th. So we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of moving pieces here. And especially if you've kind of hit that point where you truly do feel ready for a change, that change that you're seeking is going to come through the small things. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I think, again, the sky, again, is demanding practicality. We have to just be real with ourselves. But, the spiritual component is always going to be there. So this is a really good time to just be in the world, to be involved in your life, to be involved with the tasks, to get your hands into the work, and there will come a time, I would say, later on this year when Jupiter comes into Gemini, where we'll be a little bit more free to roam and you'll have a little bit room for expansion. But that ability to have that freedom to roam and expand is going to depend on your ability to really hunker down and get these things done now. So there is a little bit of a time constraint, I'm not going to lie. And it's not to put extra or added pressure on your shoulders. It's just as a heads up. It says, hey, Sagittarius, you're going to want to have the freedom that all these small things give you, because your spirituality, right? I think Sagittarius kind of being Jupiter ruled, everything is a spiritual experience, right? So your spirituality is so intrinsically linked in the world and in worldly and physical experiences. So, do yourself a favor so that you can enjoy that expansion that's going to be happening later on. Because you will want that, but you don't want to be dragged into all these small things again later on when your heart is already a million miles away. So while you're feeling the motivation now, do it now. This is not a good time to procrastinate. It's not a good time to wait until later. All right, we just want to dive in. This is what Aries is all about. It's about just going for it, taking the risk, taking that dive into it so that you can proceed. Yeah. You're also going to have to work very hard to ensure that you're not getting distracted, because that Ace of Cups is great, but I think you're going to get a lot of Ace of Cups, as we see here with the Four of Cups. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that comes in. Maybe there are potential clients coming in, or maybe romantic partners, if you're out there dating. Maybe there's, different things you could do for fun, a lot of entertainment. You're going to have to make sure that you feel genuinely connected with the new things you enjoy, you feel genuinely connected with the new things that are coming into your life. Because if you're taking just anything, you're going to get super sidetracked and you're not going to be tending to the small things. The thing with this Ace of Cups is that it will naturally help you tend to the small things. It will naturally help you focus, because this feels like a motivation to get these other things done. But then there are also things that are motivational, but not motivational toward the bigger goals. They're motivational toward, like I say, entertainment or thrill or excitement or something that's a little bit more stimulating, but it is off track. So when I see this Four of Cups, I see you being highly discerning, really, really careful, and also really honest with yourself with this Emperor card. Now, the Emperor card feels really self-contained. This is about self-power, self-regulation, and putting yourself in a scenario where you are, I would say, most likely guaranteed to succeed. When we are sloppy and we start giving our energy to just anything, regardless of whether it aligns or not, that is usually when we know, okay, yeah, maybe I just don't really have as much self-containment as I would like. Now, I'm not suggesting that you are generally sloppy in your life. I think more than anything, a lot of Sagittarians have very straight paths when they want one, when they have goals and whatever. That's the beautiful thing, like the archer, right? You have that bow and arrow, you point the arrow at a goal, you let that arrow go, and it usually goes directly in that direction, So when you want to be directed, you can be. And I think this is the time where you should be, because distractions and temptations, they're just going to delay everything. They're going to draw everything out. But you really want to get this momentum going now, and I'll tell you why. Same thing when I was talking about Jupiter coming into Gemini. That transit is going to be all over the place. Okay, Gemini is I would say Gemini and Virgo, because they are Mercury ruled, these are the two signs, in my opinion, that tend to be the most chaotic. And they are not grounded in any, I don't care what people say about Virgo. I'm a Virgo, so I can say this. Virgo is not a grounded sign at all. All right, it is left, right, up, down, and all around, just like Gemini. So when Jupiter comes into Gemini, that tendency to be flitty and whimsical and all of that is going to be there. So you're going to have this strength and this power, which is what this month is all about. It's in preparation for when Jupiter moves into Gemini. And there are probably going to be some big changes with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. There are probably going to be some big changes that are being demanded of you right now. And an emperor can rise to the occasion. An emperor can come to the table truly and say, all right, we are going to make this change, and then actually do it. All right? So it's not about just anything. It's about the few things that truly are in line with the end game. And you have to be clear about what your end game is if you want to enjoy the benefit of what this month has to offer. So we have the Queen of Wands. And there's the Tower. I'm not surprised. This is definitely Uranus, Jupiter conjunction stuff. This is the change. This is us purposefully going into our own lives, rattling our own cages, getting ourselves out of circumstances that simply aren't serving our highest good anymore. And maybe this is also where balancing spirituality and practicality comes into play, because it's probably not practical for you to continue on a path that is not spiritually fulfilling. But on the other side, if you are only pursuing spiritual pursuits, that also may not be practical. So there does seem to be, it's like Sagittarius is coming into a balance and trying to find that middle ground. But it's going to require adjustments. There have to be adjustments that get made. And usually the Tower is the effect of the adjustments. And I was stuttering because I was about to say the Justice card, because I often see that when those scales of justice come back into an alignment, we do tend to have kind of a shakeup, right? As much as we love the idea, it is Aries season. We had the equinox point at the beginning of the month. March 19th, we had that equinox point as the sun came into Aries. So Aries is an archetype that is all about equality. So is Libra. These are the two equinox signs. So there's always going to be an element of equality. But with the eclipses happening here, there's an intensity with those adjustments. So it's not just, oh, the scales are so beautiful and softly coming into balance. No, it's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be soft. It's going to be something that requires a dramatic or a drastic change. And the Queen of Wands, I think, is all for it. The Emperor, I think, is also all for it. Because these are the two, they understand, I would say a king and a queen, an emperor, an empress, they all understand what life demands sometimes. And the one thing I'm not seeing is denial. Now, you may have the potential to be in denial with that Four of Cups, where you deny yourself the beauty of focus and discipline, because you may deny yourself those things and you may want to just go run and play. Fifth house, Aries, makes sense. But I think the point of this Aries season and the point of this eclipse in Aries being conjunct Chiron and a Mercury retrograde being involved, it's really to heal. This eclipse is to heal. And the way we are healing right now is through purposeful revision to our path. But you can say, okay, well, the sun is in my fifth house and I'm going to go be entertained. I'm going to go find things that are more fun, because maybe this other stuff is just a little too heavy. I don't like dealing with it. It's hard to talk about. It brings up too much emotion, so you may kind of close off to certain things. But I promise you, if you do that, this Tower is going to come crumbling down anyway. And it's always more powerful. It's always better when we purposefully create this, because then we have some semblance of control, or at least we understand what's happening. I think the Tower is only really, really hard when we don't see it as an inevitability, and we don't see it that it kind of is something that's ultimately for our highest good. That's when it's really hard, but it doesn't have to be hard when you choose it. And the Page of Cups does often indicate, really unexpected things, albeit small things. This certainly could be connected with the Ace of Cups. It could be a person coming in. It could be an email or a phone call that you receive. Keep in mind that both of these things are potentials. They're not fully grown things yet. But you're going to know when this Ace of Cups, Page of Cups thing comes in, albeit subtly. You're going to know because it's going to be motivating for you. That even just the notion, like let's say this is a romantic partner coming in, even just the notion that perhaps there could be a romantic partnership on the horizon, it may kind of get you to, oh, okay, well, I gotta get my stuff together a little bit more then. I gotta be more presentable. I gotta do certain things, because sometimes we do get a little bit lax when we're a little bit set in our ways. Or maybe this is a potential job offer and you're like, oh, well, okay. Well, maybe there's a promotion on the table. Well, maybe there are some things that you can do to help put yourself, do yourself a favor, put yourself higher in the running so that you're more likely to get it, right? So I'm kind of feeling like something is snapping into place here. And the minute this Ace of Cups, Page of Cups comes in, you kind of wake up and you say, oh, okay, I didn't realize that something was coming. I didn't so you kind of hurry up and get into that preparation mode, preparing for the success, preparing for the new entry of things. Whereas again, this Four of Cups really feels wandering. If you have multiple options coming through, there's really only going to be one that truly makes you get your stuff together, right? The notion of something, if it doesn't make you want to light a fire under your butt, it's probably not the thing for you. And whether or not it works out, I don't know is really the point. Let's say there is a romantic interest on the horizon. So you do what you got to do to get yourself ready for that. But then maybe it doesn't work out. But that's okay. That wasn't the point. The point was probably to get you to that place, to be ready. So when the next one comes along, then you don't have to scurry. I'm looking at this mouse, right? Mice just scurry around and they scoot all over the place and it's go, 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 go. It's a very quick motion. But the next time it comes around, if it doesn't work out this time, you'll be ready. You don't have to hurry up and scurry. So what else for Sagittarius? What else do you need to know for the month of April? Beautiful. We love a Six of Wands, card of victory and success. Lovers. I mean, some of you really might be meeting people. The Lovers is not always a card of romance, but with the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, it certainly could be. And it could be a kind of love that you really don't expect. If it's not love, maybe it is a job offer or a new business opportunity or a new client or a new travel experience or something. It could be something really special, really unique. But I'm seeing you succeeding, not necessarily with whatever the Ace of Cups is, but more so you just reaching that level of potential that you've always known you were capable of. You just may not have ever really had a reason good enough to push for it. And I see this Emperor super strong, like he's coming out so powerful in the reading. It's like a side of you that you always knew was there, but for whatever reason, it was always like, oh, I can do it later, I can do it tomorrow. You didn't always feel that time pressure, but I feel like you're feeling that time pressure now. And you actually do it. And I think there's this feeling just like so accomplished with that Lover's card. Because often I see an internal wholeness with the Lover's card. Like you are feeling complete. You are feeling like whole within yourself. There's also an element of choices. Choices come through, and that has a lot to do with how we respond to the Tower. Because it's surprising how many people will purposefully create a tower and then back off. And they're not going to dive in to this change. Like you're the one that's making this tower happen. But if you make this tower happen, let certain things fall apart, but then you don't tend to the small things, this can just be a form of complete and utter self-sabotage. Because then not only are you no longer where you were, you're not even going to where you're supposed to go. And that's just self-sabotage in its finest. And then that's probably when you're more likely to get distracted by things that have nothing to do with your purpose at all. Because I'll tell you what, this tower requires a lot of responsibility. You're going to have to be responsible for what happens after that. You're responsible for rebuilding the new tower. But when I look at this Fool card, I say, well, it does seem to me that you are up for the challenge and you're ready to dive in. And I think you have in your heart of hearts the right attitude and the right desires. So you have every piece of the puzzle. You just have to put that puzzle together now. You have all the ingredients. You have to just bake the cake now. Baking the cake, right? You have to follow the instructions. You put in the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, soda, all the other things that go in. You got to mix it all together. You got to, do all those little things that ultimately make up the cake. So I see the readiness. I see the enthusiasm. I see the sense of possibility. So let's see what else comes out. So for those of you who are new, we're going to continue this reading in the comprehensive reading. We're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. So the link for that, the comprehensive, is found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting reading for Sagittarius. So let's take a look at this Ace of Cups. What is it that Sagittarius needs to know here? Seven of Cups. The Empress. Strength. Eight of Wands. So there is definitely something haphazard about the Four of Cups. The Hermit. Fool reversed. Ten of Swords, Three of Swords, Page of Wands. Had a feeling this was going to be an interesting reading with Death and Hierophant. Eight of Coins, Ace of Wands, Tower on Tower. That's a big tower. Let's do one more since we got a repeat. Ten of Cups. Nine of Coins, Eight of Cups. I'm sorry, Nine of Cups, Eight of Cups. Loving that Six of Wands. Ten of Coins, King of Coins. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up. Like I say, it's definitely going to be an interesting reading. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Again, all the info is in the description box in the comment thread down below. Thank you, Sagittarius. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.